When I walked through my front door that Thanksgiving, the silence hit me like a wall. The house felt abandoned, like a stage after the final curtain call. There on the kitchen counter sat a note, its corner precisely folded, the ink barely dry. I need some space. Mom was right. You were never good enough for us. Even the handwriting dripped with arrogance. As I crushed the note in my fist, I heard footsteps. Victor, my father-in-law, stood in the doorway, whiskey in hand, wearing that familiar, condescending smirk. "Ready to begin, Emily?" he asked, as if this had all been choreographed. That's when it clicked. This wasn't abandonment. This was a calculated game, and I was the target. But nobody plays me in my own home. 8 days later, the headlines told a different story. Brady begging for spare change on the courthouse steps. Victor's wife hospitalized after a stroke. And that secret mistress dragged through a very public divorce. None of it was chance. I'd simply stayed quiet. But my revenge? It echoed loud and clear. Let me take you back to where it all started. Backstory. Where it all began. Brady and I met 6 years ago at a friend's wedding in Denver. I was 29, running my own event planning company, working until midnight to perfect every detail. He was 31, a sales director at a commercial real estate firm. Those first 6 months were straight out of a romance novel. Flowers, surprise dinners, weekend escapes. "You're different," he'd tell me. "My family will adore you." The first warning sign? Meeting his mother, Eleanor Whitmore, 62, pillar of the Boulder Country Club, former junior league president. At our first encounter, she looked me up and down like I was wearing the wrong uniform. "Event planner?" "How quaint," she said, her smile frozen. "In our circle, women typically pursue more established careers." Brady's ex-fiancée. "You remember Madeline, don't you, Brady?" Graduated from Columbia Law. Brady just laughed it off. "Mom, please." I ignored every red flag. I was in love. After the wedding, Eleanor's visits multiplied. 2, sometimes 3 times weekly. Brady had given her a key for emergencies. One afternoon, I came home unexpectedly early. The clatter of dishes drew me to the kitchen, where I found Eleanor rearranging my cabinets as if she owned the place. "In our family, we organize kitchens properly," she announced, examining a spice jar. "Alphabetically. I can't fathom how you function in this chaos." When I mentioned it to Brady, "She's trying to help, honey." "You're being oversensitive?" Year 2 brought mandatory Thanksgivings at Eleanor's. "Tradition," Brady insisted. "It matters to my family." Year 3, just before my father's heart attack, Brady suggested pooling our finances. "Let's open a joint account. We're married now. This is about trust." Foolishly, I agreed. Year 4, my father passed. He left me $30,000. At Brady's urging, I deposited it in a separate account for our future home, but I gave him the account details for emergencies. Year 5, my business exploded. A major tech company hired me for their annual corporate events. My income surpassed Brady's. Eleanor's comments sharpened like knives. "How many hours are you working, Emily? A woman shouldn't prioritize career over family. Brady needs a proper home-cooked meal." Brady chimed in. "Mom has a point. You've been distant lately." Early in year 6, everything shifted. The warning signs. Brady started working late. His phone lived face down on every surface. He even took it into the shower. One March evening, he left his laptop open. Slack messages glowed on the screen, from Hannah Cooper. "Lunch was amazing. The boss wants to discuss your promotion after the meeting." Brady's reply. "The meeting's just an excuse. I just want more time with you." My stomach dropped. I confronted him immediately. "Who's Hannah?" His face went pale. "Oh, my new colleague. Marketing department. Just friendly. Brady, you sent her a heart emoji. You're overreacting. Everyone texts like this now. Generational thing." He looked at me like I was paranoid. I mentioned it to Eleanor. "Dear, men form workplace bonds." Perfectly innocent. As a wife, instead of seeing competition, you should create a warmer home environment. In July, Brady's phone rang while I was nearby. The screen read, "Mom," I answered. It wasn't Eleanor, it was Hannah. Brady sprinted over, snatched the phone. "Private," he snapped, disappearing into the bathroom. In August, an unexplained $800 vanished from our joint account. "Client gift." Brady claimed. September brought Eleanor's birthday dinner at an upscale Boulder steakhouse. When we arrived, I immediately noticed the missing place setting. A table set for 4 couldn't accommodate 5 people. Eleanor glanced up casually, as if nothing was wrong. "Oh, Emily." The reservation was apparently only for 4. Small oversight. "Waiter, could you add a chair?" Her voice dripped with false courtesy. I stood there for 5 excruciating minutes while the waiter scrambled. Each second, the metallic taste of humiliation intensified. Brady laughed, his voice blending with the ambient chatter. "Tight squeeze, Mom, right?" Melissa shrugged without meeting my eyes. "Emily understands. It's not that formal anyway." Something inside me fractured that night, but my smile never wavered. They still saw me as the quiet, harmless daughter-in-law. But that evening, unnoticed by anyone, my revenge began taking shape. I couldn't eat a single bite. In October, Brady flew to Seattle for a company retreat. I spotted Hannah's Instagram story, Pike Place Market. Same day, same timestamp. I texted Brady. He ignored it. Called back 4 hours later. "Everything okay? Are you in Seattle?" "Yeah, I told you." "The retreat. Is Hannah there?" Silence. "Emily, you're going to make yourself sick with this jealousy. Before we continue with what happened next, if you're enjoying this story of how I transformed betrayal into the ultimate comeback, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss how this unfolds. Now back to the story. The abandonment. Thanksgiving. Plans early November, Eleanor announced. "You won't be joining us for Thanksgiving this year, Emily." I was stunned. "Excuse me? Victor's health is declining." Victor was Eleanor's 75-year-old second husband, not Brady's biological father. Eleanor married him when Brady was 12. Someone needs to care for him. "You can stay home with him." Brady nodded. "Makes sense, Mom. Emily's company is slow on weekends anyway." "Wait," I protested. "I'm part of this family, too." "Thanksgiving," Eleanor cut me off. "Isn't Victor family? Are you suggesting we abandon him?" Tears welled in my eyes. I knew Brady wouldn't defend me. "Fine," I whispered. "I'll stay with Victor. Wednesday night, the desertion November 20th, Wednesday evening. 6:47 p.m. I arrived home to find Brady's car gone. A note waited on the kitchen counter. "Emily, this is difficult to write, but I'm unhappy. Mom was right. We're from different worlds. Living with you, I lost myself. I need space. I need my family. Take care of Victor. We'll discuss this when I return." Brady, my hands trembled. I read it 3 times. "I need my family." I rushed to the bedroom. Brady's suitcase, gone. Half his closet, empty. I called his phone. Off. I called Eleanor. "Where's Brady?" "Brady needs to decompress, Emily. Stop pressuring him." "Decompress? Where is he?" "Family business." She hung up. I tried Thomas. "Can I speak to Brady?" "Emily, don't interfere. Brady's been struggling." "Struggling? Why didn't anyone tell me?" "Because you wouldn't understand." Click, I texted Melissa. No response. I collapsed on the living room floor. The silence was suffocating. Victor emerged from the kitchen, moving slowly with his cane. "They're gone, aren't they?" he said quietly. I nodded, eyes brimming with tears. "Emily, there's something you need to know." The first discovery. Instagram Victor settled beside me, but before he could speak, I checked my phone, Instagram. Notifications, Hannah Cooper had posted something. No, the tag was Eleanor's account. But I followed her. I tapped the photo. A cruise ship deck at sunset. 6 people, Brady, Eleanor, Hannah, Melissa, Thomas, and Eleanor's sister Patricia. Brady and Hannah side by side. Hands intertwined. Caption: "Thankful for new beginnings. Dear Thanksgiving. Family first. Caribbean cruise. Dear Blessed. Posted 3 hours ago." Comments: Melissa Whitmore. "Best Thanksgiving ever." Eleanor Whitmore. "My beautiful family. A Patricial. So happy for you all." Jessica. "Brady, you deserve this happiness." My hands went numb. The screen blurred. Victor. "Emily, they're on a cruise," I whispered. "Right now, they're on a cruise," Victor nodded. "I know." I scrolled through the photos. Day 1, airport. Day 2, champagne on deck. Day 3. Beach. Brady and Hannah holding hands. Eleanor had liked every single post. One comment stood out. Tiffany. Finally, Hannah. You two are perfect together, Hannah's reply. Sometimes the best things take time. Brady had hearted it. The second discovery. The banking app. Victor's voice was gentle but firm. Emily, check your bank accounts. With shaking hands, I opened the Bank of America app. Joint account balance 02000 last transaction November 19th 4:34 p.m. Transfer $5,200. Brady Whitmore. Personal account, my savings account, my father's inheritance. Balance 0.00 last transaction November 18th 9:22 a.m. Wire transfer $30,000. Eleanor Whitmore. Account memo. Family emergency fund. Notification history. Bank of America alert. Nov 18 9:23 a.m. Large withdrawal approved. $30,000 Bank of America alert. Nov 19 4:35. Account balance critical. 0.0. They drained my accounts to fund a cruise. $35,200. Vanished. I barely made it to the bathroom before vomiting. Victor's proposition. He cried for an hour. Victor sat quietly in the kitchen, brewing tea. Finally, I emerged, eyes swollen and raw. Why didn't you warn me? I asked. Victor, because you needed to see it yourself. See what? Your worth. Brady and Eleanor have treated you as disposable for years. You needed perspective. Victor, Emily, sit. He gestured to the chair. I sat. Victor produced a thick manila folder. I've been married to Eleanor for 22 years. But here's what you should know. Eleanor is broke. I stared at him. What? Her lavish lifestyle, my money. The house, the cars, the country club membership, all mine. But she always talks about our family. Because she manipulated me. She knew I saw Brady as a son. I saved for his future. Real estate, investments, retirement accounts. All in his name. Victor opened the folder, revealing notarized documents. Last week, Emily, I changed my will. My breath caught. Why? Because Eleanor and Brady, by excluding you, actually erased me. Brady may not be my biological son, but I was more of a father to him than anyone. And you know how they repaid me? They kept me around as long as I was useful. A sick, broken man. What did you do? Victor smiled. The first genuine smile I'd seen from him. I left everything to you. The world tilted. Victor, no. You can't. $3.2 million, Emily. The house, investments, stock portfolio. All yours. Eleanor gets nothing. Brady gets nothing. Tears spilled down my cheeks. Why? Because you're the only decent person in this situation. When I discovered their cruise plans, when I learned they'd emptied your accounts, I called my attorney. The documents were signed yesterday. How did you find out? Eleanor gave me Brady's account information. For emergencies, she said. So I monitored it. I saw every transaction. My head spun. Now, Victor said, shall we begin? The planning. Evidence collection over the next 4 days. Victor and I worked systematically. Friday morning, Brady's laptop, abandoned in his rush to the cruise. Search history, Caribbean cruise. 6 adults. November, how to transfer money without wife knowing. Divorce lawyers Denver. Does spouse inherit in Colorado emails? Gmail still logged in. To Hannah. November 5th. Mom says the timing is perfect. Emily will be occupied with Victor. We can leave Wednesday night. To Eleanor, November 10th. Transferred everything. She won't notice until we're gone. Reservation confirmation. Royal Caribbean. 7 days, 6 passengers. Total. $18,400. Payment source. My joint account. Saturday. Ring doorbell footage from Victor's front door. November 18th, 3:47 p.m. Brady loading suitcases. Eleanor helping. Hannah waiting in the car. Eleanor's voice. Crystal clear. You'll be happier this way. Brady. Emily doesn't deserve you. Brady. I know, Mom. After the cruise, I'll contact the divorce attorney. Hannah. Is he seriously making us wait? The audio was perfect. Victor had recorded everything. Sunday neighbors, Mrs. Peterson from across the street. Emily, I saw something disturbing last week. Brady and another woman kissing in the car. In your driveway, Eleanor was watching from the window, laughing. Date, November 15th. Mrs. Peterson agreed to provide a notarized statement, Mr. Chen from next door. Brady told Eleanor last month, Emily expects an inheritance from you, but you should give it to me instead. I was gardening. I heard everything. He also provided a notarized statement, Monday attorney, Patricia Mendez, 18 years specializing in family law. She reviewed the file. Emily, Colorado is a no-fault divorce state. But there's clear financial misconduct here. Your bank can pursue recovery of the stolen inheritance. Plus, Victor's will is ironclad. When do they return? November 27th, Wednesday. 7-day cruise. Be ready that day, Patricia smiled. I already am. The preparation. Victor's strategy. Tuesday morning, Victor sat in his room. Emily, one more thing. Yes? When they return, they'll expect to find you broken, desperate, begging. I nodded. That's exactly how I felt. Don't. You're stronger than that. Time to show them. How? Victor handed me an envelope. Inside, his new will, notarized, attorney signed. When they arrive, act normal. Prepare dinner, then gather them in the living room. Open this envelope. Victor, Emily, I'm 75 years old. My heart is failing, but I can still fight for you. They used you. Now it's time for justice. I held Victor's hand. Thank you. No, Emily, thank you. For finally giving me a real family. The return, November 27th, Wednesday, November 27th, 4:32 p.m. A car pulled into the driveway. Brady's black Audi trunk overflowing with souvenir bags, bronzed faces, relaxed expressions. The door swung open. Honey, we're home. Eleanor's voice rang out. I was in the kitchen, quietly making apple pie, Eleanor's favorite. Brady entered. Emily? I turned, smiling. Welcome back. How was the cruise? Brady hesitated, confused. Good. Are you okay? Yes, I took care of Victor. It was exhausting but manageable. Eleanor swept in, sunglasses still perched on her nose. Emily, making pie? Your favorite. Eleanor, Melissa, Thomas, Hannah, they all gathered in the kitchen. Hannah wouldn't even look at me. Everyone, I said calmly, would you please join me in the living room? We need to discuss something, Brady. We're tired, Emily. Can this wait? No. Something in my tone stopped them cold, hard, final. Eleanor frowned but complied. The confrontation. First wave, everyone settled into the living room. Eleanor, Brady, Melissa, and Thomas claimed the couches as if I were the guest. I stood. The manila folder on the coffee table commanded their attention. Thick, heavy, dangerous. I began, voice steady. First, tell me. How was the cruise? Brady jumped in quickly. Emily, now isn't the time. I continued, smiling. The photos were beautiful. Hannah's Instagram was quite active. The atmosphere shifted instantly. Hannah's face flushed. Eleanor's expression froze. Emily, Eleanor said, her voice trembling with forced politeness. If you're being irrational? I opened the folder. The first page landed on the table. Screenshots from Hannah's Instagram. Brady's arm around Hannah's shoulders beneath the family Thanksgiving caption. And who had liked it? Eleanor, this, I said slowly, was your family Thanksgiving celebration, wasn't it? Melissa jumped in. Emily, you misunderstood. I flipped to the second page. Brady's laptop history. Cruise 6 adults search. You searched on November 10th. Brady. The day I was supposed to stay home with Victor. Thomas raised his voice. Emily, this is ridiculous. Is it? I dropped the third document on the table. Bank statements. November 18th, my father's $30,000 inheritance. November 19th, my $5,200 in savings. Total, $35,200 gone. Eleanor's breath hitched. Emily, that money was my money. My voice rose for the first time. It was my father's inheritance. And you, Brady, asked for my account details under the guise of emergencies. Emergency, right? A Caribbean cruise with Hannah. Dead silence. Eleanor looked away. Brady's face turned ashen. But for the first time, I stood tall. The confrontation. Second wave. Brady suddenly jumped up, voice cracking with panic. "Emily, you don't understand." But I smiled. A quiet, almost pitying smile. "I don't understand?" I pulled a small USB drive from my bag. Silver, edges worn. The Ring doorbell logo caught the light. I opened my laptop, inserted the drive, and activated the projector. Suddenly, the white living room wall became a screen displaying their own betrayal. The video began. Date, November 18th. In the footage, Brady loaded suitcases into his car. Eleanor's voice was crystal clear. Every word a dagger. "You'll be happier this way." "Brady, Emily doesn't deserve you." Brady's voice, filled not with guilt, but relief. "I know, Mom. After the cruise, I'll contact the divorce attorney." Hannah's voice in the background. "Is he seriously making us wait?" The room turned to stone. Melissa's jaw dropped. Thomas turned away. Eleanor's face went chalk white. This is illegal," Eleanor sputtered. "Recording on private property, at Victor's door," I said calmly. "With his permission. Completely legal." Brady lunged forward. "Emily, that man manipulated you." "Victor?" I narrowed my eyes. "My 75-year-old father-in-law with a heart condition?" I placed more documents on the table. A thick stack, notary seal gleaming. Neighbor statements. Mrs. Peterson, Mr. Chen. Witnesses confirmed that on November 15th, Brady, you kissed Hannah in our driveway. Eleanor watched. Hannah's eyes filled with tears, voice trembling. I raised my hand, voice ice cold. "Be quiet. Your turn hasn't come yet." Everyone in the room held their breath, but for me, for the first time, justice was breathing. The confrontation. Third wave. Eleanor stood. "Emily, enough!" "This is disrespectful." "Disrespectful." I laughed. Not a real laugh. "Eleanor, I've learned so much about your family's traditions." A knock at the door. Patricia Mendez, my attorney, entered. "Business suit, briefcase. Good evening. I'm Ms. Mendez, Emily's attorney." Eleanor. "Attorney?" Patricia placed a file on the table. "These are divorce papers. Colorado is a no-fault state, but Ms. Emily is filing a financial misconduct lawsuit. $35,200 is being recovered, with interest." Brady's face went white. "Furthermore," Patricia continued, "Ms. Emily's inheritance from her father was never community property. Only hers. Under Colorado law, premarital inheritance remains separate property." Thomas. "But Brady had the account information, obtained without authorization." "The bank has opened a fraud investigation," Eleanor screamed. "Nonsense. Brady is my son. Brady is your son." "But Emily's thief. The confrontation. Fourth wave. The Victor bomb. Silence. Then I spoke. Now, for the interesting part. I opened Victor's envelope. "Eleanor, you know about Victor's money. The house, investments, retirement accounts. You always referred to it as our money." Eleanor smiled weakly. "Victor is my husband. Of course." Victor changed his will. All color drained from Eleanor's face. "What?" I read the document aloud. "I, Victor Raymond Whitmore, of sound mind, bequeath all my assets to Emily Ann Whitmore. These include the residence at 1247 Maple Street, valued at $2.1 million. Vanguard Investment Portfolio, $850,000. Fidelity 401k, $240,000. Wells Fargo Savings Account, $180,000. Total value, $3,370,000. Eleanor screamed. A primal animal scream. "No! He's my husband. That's my money." "Not your money, Eleanor. It was never yours. It was Victor's, and now it's mine." Brady. "This can't be legal." Patricia. "Completely legal. Notarized. 2 witnesses. Signed last week." Eleanor collapsed to her knees. "Emily, please, please." I looked at her, really looked at her for the first time. "For 6 years you told me I wasn't good enough. You belittled my career. You rearranged my kitchen. You didn't even reserve a chair for me at the birthday dinner." Melissa was crying. "Emily, we didn't know." "You knew. You all knew. And you said nothing." The confrontation. Fifth wave. Hannah. Hannah edged toward the door. "Hannah," I called. She froze. "Where's your husband?" She went rigid. "What?" Your husband. David Cooper. You're married, aren't you? Hannah's face turned ashen. Patricia produced another file. Mr. David Cooper visited our office yesterday afternoon. He discovered his wife has been having an affair with a co-worker for 6 months. Thanks to Instagram posts, Hannah's knees buckled. David is filing for divorce. Interesting detail. Hannah suggested Brady relocate to Colorado for a new position at his company. But the real reason, to escape David. Brady. Hannah, you're married? Hannah ran out sobbing. Car engine roared. Tires screeched. Thomas. This is insane. No, Thomas. This is justice. The confrontation. 6th wave. The house. Eleanor slowly stood, makeup streaking her face. Emily, she whispered. Please, this house. Brady grew up here. Our memories, your memories, Eleanor. I never had a place in your family. Brady. Eleanor turned to her son. Say something! Brady sat silent, slumped in the chair, head in his hands. Brady? Eleanor's voice cracked. Brady finally spoke. Mom, we destroyed everything. No, this is Emily's fault. Mom! Brady shouted. For the first time, Emily isn't at fault. We are. You told me Emily wasn't good enough. You introduced me to Hannah. You planned the cruise. You taught me to steal the money. Eleanor's mouth hung open. Brady looked at me, eyes glistening. Emily, I'm sorry. I felt nothing. No anger, no pain, just emptiness. Sorry? I said. You sold our 6-year marriage, our trust, our future for a cruise. You stole my father's inheritance. You abandoned me with a sick man on Thanksgiving. And now you say I'm sorry? Tears streamed down Brady's face. What can I do? Nothing. I removed my wedding ring. Placed it on the table. Didn't throw it. Just placed it. Silence. This house, I said, was Victor's. Now it's mine. You need to vacate by tomorrow morning, Eleanor screamed. Vacate? Where will we go? I don't care. Patricia. As property owner, Emily has the right to issue 24-hour notice. Colorado law. You can leave voluntarily or with police escort. Melissa. Emily, please. Please? I looked at her. You didn't reserve a chair for me at the birthday dinner, Melissa. Don't expect mercy from me now. The exity grabbed my suitcase, packed 3 days ago. I walked through the kitchen. The pie sat cold on the counter. I entered Victor's room. He was sleeping. I kissed his forehead. Thank you, I whispered. I grabbed my car keys. Patricia walked me to the door. Documents will be ready tomorrow morning, she said. Divorce process takes 6 months, but the financial misconduct case will move faster. I nodded. And Emily? Yes, I'm proud of you, I smiled. The first genuine smile in days. I stepped outside. The sun was setting. The air was cold but clean. Mrs. Peterson stood in her yard, nodding and smiling at me. Mr. Chen was watering his lawn. Emily, he called. You did it! I got in my car, started the engine. In the rearview mirror, I saw Eleanor at the window, screaming silently. Brady stood in the doorway. Watching me, I didn't look back. I pressed the accelerator, resolution, the first night a hotel in downtown Denver. The Crawford, elegant, small, quiet, room 412, city view. I set down my suitcase. Sat on the bed, phone rang, Brady block message, Eleanor. Block Melissa. Thomas block, text from Patricia. Documents ready. Office at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And Emily, good night. You earned this. I opened my laptop, Instagram, cleaned my account. Brady, unfollow. Block Eleanor. Unfollow, block Hannah. Account already deleted. Melissa. Thomas, block Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. Clean slate. I took a shower. Long hot, tears mixed with water. But these tears were different. Tears of liberation. I put on pajamas. Slipped into bed. White sheets, pristine. There was a lightness in my chest. For the first time in 6 years, I could breathe. One last phone check. New message from Patricia. Got a message from Victor. Tell Emily I'm proud. I smiled. I turned off the phone. Turned off the lights. In the darkness, I stared at the ceiling. Dad, I whispered. I protected your money, and I'm free. I slept. The deepest sleep in 6 years. Epilogue. 3 months later, February, Denver, a crisp Saturday morning. I sat in a small Capitol Hill cafe, windowside table. Laptop open, coffee steaming, my business had exploded. When news of the divorce spread, my clients rallied. 3 new major contracts: tech conference, wedding, corporate retreat. I sold Victor's house for $2.3 million. Not a penny went to Brady or Eleanor. I rented a new apartment near Wash Park. Single level, spacious, mine alone. Patricia and I remained close. Friends now. The financial misconduct case settled. Brady and Eleanor received a repayment order for $52,000, $35,200 plus interest and attorney fees. Installment plan: Brady left his job, or was fired. Hannah's husband had filed a complaint with the company. Eleanor was forced out of Victor's house. Now she lives in Melissa's basement. Hannah's divorce was brutal. David took everything, even the kids. Victor passed in December, peacefully, in his sleep. Small funeral. Me, Patricia, a few neighbors. Eleanor came. She cried. Nobody believed her. The will was read. Eleanor's expression: unforgettable. I closed my laptop at the cafe. Finished my coffee. I looked outside. Sun bright, snow melting, spring approaching. My phone rang. New client. A startup planning a product launch. Substantial budget. Hello, this is Emily Whitmore. Yes, am I available March 15th? Let me check. I opened my planner. Empty, completely open. Just my time. Yes, I said. I'm available. I hung up. I raised my empty coffee cup. To Victor, I whispered. For believing in me, the server approached. Anything else? I smiled. No, thank you. I'm heading out. I paid the bill. Left a $20 tip. I stepped outside. The sun warmed my face. Brady had called again this morning. Left a voicemail. Emily, please. Can we talk? I can fix everything. Mom's sorry. I'm sorry. Hannah's gone. Just you. I deleted it without listening. I walked to my car. New Subaru Outback. I sold the old Civic. Too many memories. I started the engine. A song played on the radio. I'm gonna live like... Tomorrow doesn't exist. I smiled. Brady sold me for $35,200. I gained $3.3 million. But my real gain, my self-respect, I pressed the accelerator forward without looking back. Now I want to hear from you. If you were in my position, would you have done the same? Or would you have handled it differently? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. And if this story taught you anything about keeping receipts and knowing your worth, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's simply refusing to be treated as less than your worth. Final thoughts. Some lessons cost money. Mine cost $35, but freedom? Priceless. I taught Brady something. Always keep receipts. I taught Eleanor something. Family isn't just blood and myself. I learned this. Until I know my worth, nobody else will value me. My name is Emily Whitmore. I'm 34 years old, a successful event planner living in Denver. I'm single, and I'm happy. For the first time, I'm truly happy. Author's note. They thought silence meant weakness. They thought compliance meant defeat. They thought I'd beg, cry, break. Instead, I documented. I strategized. I won. Not because I wanted revenge, but because I refused to be erased. This story isn't about what they took from me. It's about what I reclaimed. Dignity, freedom, and the unshocky.